5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. You remember?
Keke, Palmer, what are you doing? Maybe we should stop caring about celebrities' lives so intensely because it's weird, and we should all just go get day jobs. Maybe Doja Cat was right, and we should help our parents clean the house or something, or do something a little bit more productive with our lives. Yeah. There are ways for all the dogs. Drake. That's not obviously. That's not. That's just anyway. But that just made me think of that album because we were talking about the other day. But no, I was saying about Keke Palmer because that whole thing. I like and I like I like Keke Palmer and you know, and stuff. But this whole thing from beginning to end, I don't even want to like recap the entire story of it because it's just like. Well, firstly, I've spoken about it. I think when it was at its earlier stages, and now it's just like I just don't. It's just boring. I don't want to go through every little thing because there's so many little steps and things you got to caveat with. Go all the way through and all the reactions to each single thing. Um. Yes. I just. This is what I will say though. Is this is why I find celebrities annoying. And I don't know. It's just all so showy, and it's just all just like over the top, just for like. It's just. To be honest, it's probably not a celebrity thing. It's probably people are probably just as ridiculous. But you just haven't got a spotlight on you. But I don't know what's going on anymore. It's the daytime. I've got a lot of catching up to do. 'Cause this is for the day, and they haven't been that. And I remember the goalposts have been moving a lot. You know, it's been like there will be one made every single day within the 24 hours of that day before it gets past midnight. Then it changed from it doesn't matter when you do it, like your day is for as long as it is before you go to bed. So if you go to bed at 4 a.m, as long as you get it done before you sleep, you've done it within that day or whatever, that's fine. And then a couple others. Missed. To be fair, most of the days missed were due to internet or stuff like that. So yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So a lot of days missed, basically, very far behind, and I thought I was ahead for some reason. I don't know why that would happen, but then like I asked Google. I was like, okay, Google. Well, I don't want to say it now in case it's on. I was like, okay, Schmoogle. No, it didn't work. How many days till Christmas? Because that's essentially when it started. And then it was like, and I took away the amount. So say I've done like 250, I took that away from 365, compared that to the amount of days left till Christmas. And then I saw that I was like 10 behind somehow to this internet, just missing here and there, which is bad. So now I'm moving the goalposts again. Because, you know, these haven't been every... And to be fair, you know, I've done like well over a few hundred of these every single... Does it really matter? So now it's just like, as long as I get to the yearly mark, which is I think the 23rd of December. As long as on the 23rd of December, 365 is the number we're on, one for each day. Whether you know we missed a couple, and then 7 was uploaded in one day to catch it. Like whatever it takes, end game style. Okay, ideally, because I really need to get back on track. And then what happens is the internet was really messing me up, and then you'd miss a lot of days, and then you'd be like, okay, I gotta catch up. What is there to talk about? Fuck all. And then oh yeah, and then I did one. I wish a couple of these. My eyes are so fucking itchy, it's pissing me off. I did one, and then I listened to it back. That could happen with any of these I'm doing right now, which is the scary part. And it was like there's times where the mic doesn't work, and it doesn't work in two different ways. Either it's stereo sounding, it kind of just sounds like it's you're speaking like out of a speaker, and that's being recorded, or it sounds dipping in like volume as if like you're going underwater and coming back out, and it like goes in and out, as the best way I can describe it. And it was the second one, which is just completely unusable. Like, there's other times where it's been stereo and I can post it anywhere and that's fine, but this was the latter. And Yeah, it just yeah, it was it. Yeah. Um, and it's, when you listen to it back, and usually it's late. You've probably seen it's like 1 in the morning, and it's you just done the whole thing. And it's like, oh, right then. You don't really want to do it again, especially talking about the exact same thing. Some of these things, one of them was Mike Dean. If you like music, not whoever that is, because I think there's someone like around music. No, Mike Dean, football referee. It's good that I mention this again actually because I don't know. I think it's been enough days now where I can talk about this again. And it's not going to feel too repetitive. I'm not going to do it as long-winded as I did before. Basically, Mike Dean, referee, did some interview, podcast, whatever. I don't know. Simon Jordan, and he gets a bit too comfortable. Gets a bit too crazy. And I feel like sometimes when like you do certain interviews or certain podcasts, whether they just feel really comfortable, they like the interviewer or whatever it is. I imagine Mike Dean loves Simon Jordan's stuff, which he's like TalkSport kind of guy. I used to work in football, I think Crystal Palace, something like that. A couple of businesses, I don't know much about him, but he works on TalkSport, and he's very Marmite kind of guy. You're gonna very opinionated, sort of Tory kind of energy. Anyway, but straight to the point. And I feel like for whatever reason, I feel like Mike Dean probably really like Simon Jordan, so he got a bit cozy, a bit comfortable, and he was just kind of like talking about refereeing and stuff. And he was the VAR guy once, and he said, "Oh, I didn't tell Anthony Taylor to look at this decision, this challenge, because, it was a tough game, and he was already getting a lot of stick from the crowd, and I didn't want to put him in a position where he'd get more, so I didn't send him to the screen." And it was just, he exposed himself for, bullshit there. Like all of the questions and theories people have around the shit refereeing in this country, in the Premier League, top league, kind of just get proved in that moment, because this is one example of where decisions aren't being made based on the game only, but being made on, oh, he's getting a bit of stick, oh, he's my mate. And now since then he's tried to come out, not the closet, but just out in public to say, hey, that was, people are trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. That's not what that. You can't backtrack. It wasn't like, oh, you can take it out of context. It was just very simple. Like, and he explained himself pretty well in it. So you can't really, you fucked up Mike Dean. And Mike Dean's the kind of guy, he would celebrate his own decisions. Like, he would play advantage, and then the team would score, and he'd like basically one step below doing a knee slide into the corner flag. He's just that kind of guy, all about me. He's got like them. He's given the most red cards in the Premier League, so like, he loves it. He loves being that guy. He gets to like put his hand up with a card in it and send someone off a pitch, because then it's the Mike Dean show. And he's a great overall spectacle for the sport, because he's just like embarrassing and whatever. But ultimately, well, he's not good for the sport. Like, he's a good pantomime villain, I think. Ultimately, and I don't mind that in the overall. Like, I don't like Anthony Taylor giving us crap decisions all the time. I don't like things not going our way. And VAR, I liked football a lot more without VAR. But you can't really deny that VAR has added like another dimension of football. And whether it's an unjust dimension, or not unjust, but just like incompetence, magnified, or like whatever it is, whether it ruins the game, it kills certain moments, this and that. It adds an extra narrative that everyone can hate on or argue for or whatever. Which in the overall picture, I think just adds something else, which is like to be annoyed with. But yeah, that does remind me about something else football related, but that's big enough to be its own thing. I'm not going to talk about it right now. Let's just say it involves. No, I'm not going to say that. Oh, have I got a pen on me? I don't, because I got a long list here. I should probably start crossing things off so I don't get too on top of everything. What should I go? I'm gonna go. I mean, yesterday I keep doing this. If I have a bet on like football that isn't Premier League, I forget it's on, and I just miss cash out opportunities, which I know I would have taken. And I know there's a lot of people who don't agree with cashing out. It's like, if you do it, you're in there for the thing. You're in it to win it. You got to stay in there, till the end. Or what's the point? Money is the point. And to me, profit's profit. And if you like, I think for those people who say that, it's that the feeling of cashing out and then it coming through and them not getting that money would feel worse than if it doesn't happen. And so say you could cash out for 50 quid, but your returns were 200 if it all comes through anyway. They will fit the joy will outweigh the negative of getting the 200 than the negative would feel missing the 50, you know? Which I get. But for me it's like the feeling when you cash out and then it was basically right and you cashed out at the highest point possible and it was just perfect timing, feels just as good as if like it just came through as a whole, because it's like you big brained the whole thing. And I put, it was an AC Milan game, and it came so many times, by the way, this has happened where I forget and then I wake up, I'm like, no I forgot, and I go check the game, I'm like, oh actually everything just came through. And the one thing that always like fucks it for me is always the same category: corners. I think I just overestimate the amount of corners there are in a game, like, and like, it's always corners, which to me is just the most annoying thing to lose out for. To get like this player to score, this player to assist, this many shots on target, this many cards, whatever, right? And then to miss out on corners, and that's the type of thing in that example exactly, where you're gonna have great cash out because corners isn't something that deep, usually, from their perspective. So you're gonna have great. The cash out's gonna be decent. If I didn't forget the game, I probably would have cashed out because corners was the only thing that was missing, and from experience I would have known, but I forgot, and my nose is really itchy now. I get very itchy when I do these for some reason. But yeah, I just need to not forget. There's football today. There is United, no. Newcastle United, City, and Liverpool haven't played yet, so they must be playing. Okay, let's try and work this out. This is always a fun game. Deducing the team that is left to play by process of elimination. So Everton have played. I would know if it's a derby game anyway. Wolves have. I've really like. There's like a bit of fluff on the inside of my nose. I'm not picking my nose. Every time I breathe out, it's so itchy. Like it is not good. Anyway, what team could it be? Burnley. I think it might be Liverpool Burnley. Oh no, because I think there's 3 games today, and Burnley are one of them. So we've got Liverpool Burnley. We've got Newcastle. Okay, Newcastle Liverpool. Yeah. Okay. So then Burnley. Who are Burnley playing? Who else came up? Luton's already played. Sheffield United. Have they played yet? Alright, it could be Sheffield United, and then we got to get 2 more teams. Have Palace played yet? Could be Palace. I don't know if Palace have played yet. All the big 6 teams have played that I've already mentioned. Yeah. Aston Villa, have they played? Aston Villa. And I remember that FPL, which by the way I'm doing awful in. The RB, he's on my FPL team, hasn't played yet. That's a good way to think about it, because think about how my players haven't played. The first week, I just hit the average. The world average of what most of the people around the world got on points. Second week I was below average, and then right now I'm just hanging on to average. Will I ever have a week above average? You know, I'm not. This is the first time ever I'm actually trying to change it from week to week, trying to like update it a bit. Because every other time I just made it and left it throughout the whole year, never looked at it again. But like okay, my first team had Reece James in it, had Kane in it. Kane wasn't even here, so it was just a dead body because he left. He was at Bayern Munich. Reece James injured, and I didn't change him out. Forgot. I've had Garnacho in there, who I thought was a big brain move before the season started. I thought he was going to be in for a good season, and the season's still getting off. But I just thought he looked bright from the games I saw in pre-season, and it was cheap, but he's been nothing for me. So at the moment, I'll expose myself. Actually, should I do it now or should I talk about it later? I might do it in the next one, just so I can spread out my topics that I'm running thin on. But yeah, I mean, ultimately Arsenal drew, which makes me feel good. Makes me know that at least not gonna have like a crazy dominant season this season of just like how they were last season with how they would just win. They look feel a bit more fallible, which is great for me because as a Chelsea fan, it was tough, it was tricky watching that. That being said, though, if it just means that we're gonna have a season where City just run away with it, that's also not ideal. So I really need them to drop points as well. Have they played this week already, or are they playing today? I'm not sure. So Haaland still to play. He's in my FPL. So I don't know who City are playing, but I would love a draw at the very least, if you wouldn't mind, football gods. But that's all. I got about 17,000 more of these to do, so can't be wasting time.
With the kids, and they had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. Like,